We still ain't doing no music yet. We still ain't doing no music. Yeah, I just jumped in because I haven't got everything straight, but we're gonna get right into it today. You know what I'm saying? Peace, peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today, what I wanted to talk about, as you can see in the title, the righteous ones are in danger. You know, I'm not a fan of using any of the other titles. I don't really care if we say chosen ones, God, children, all of them. Everything that follows those same principles, morals, and values all go hand in hand with God and the Creator. You know what I mean? And what kind of dove me into this subject today was just kind of, understanding, like, processing things with my mini. I got some buddies of mine that's going through some crazy obstacles. And it's like, I've been moving more righteously. I was aligned with the Creator before I was even all the way aware with my enlightenment. So I was already kind of hand to hand with it. So seeing some of my associates that I know, my male friends, just kind of raising their vibration to infinity and beyond, you know what I'm saying? They actually being okay with intaking some healthy information, and just seeing them from the outside looking in, how their trials and tribulations have been ramping up. It's been crazy, crazy. I got one associate of mine who he got his regular trials and tribulations he's been going through over the past year or so. But when I say he has been shifting his inner thought process, the way he engages with the beings around him, how he's been responding to certain situations with his friends, family, his spouse, all of this. It's like the more and the harder he is working and grinding, it's the more he is getting slapped in the face. You know what I mean? And it's like, we live in a society where you would feel as though you are trying to move yourself in a better direction, that the ones around you would be moving with you. But we know that in this Western society, everything is the opposite. So if you're not moving with the masses being witchy, then that means you're moving opposite of the masses. You're moving more righteously. And just seeing him go through this process, I've been going through all of these processes for a long time. I'm still going through them, and I know a lot of us are. It ain't gonna stop or slow down, but being able to perceive someone else from the outside looking in and be actually really close to them, that shit just hit different. It hits way different. It's kind of like, if you got any little ones or any people that you really care about, it's almost like if you one of them beings who think of yourself as, oh, I would much rather have something happen to me before I have something happen to my mom or happen to my dad or happen to my siblings or my children. That's what the process feels like in between the mix. You know what I'm saying? So just seeing his process and how he's been aligning and just keeping his vibration high. You know what I'm saying? Even with him not even understanding all the lingo and language. You know what I mean? So being in this space, to being at this understanding, my bro already been aligned. He got detoured. Most of us have already been aligned. We come here aligned, and then we get detoured in the process. So that's why you could be in a room full of vultures in the hood, in the projects with a lab full of demons, and you still don't operate or move or make decisions the way they do. I got plenty of other buddies I met when I was locked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have the same inner thought process as some of these other witchy beings do. So when you start diving in deeper than what we're being taught, a lot of us have already had this in us. A lot of us have already been aligned. A lot of us have been fighting this battle since before we even knew we was fighting the battle. You know what I'm saying? You just so used to, oh, I don't want to be in that space. I'm gonna change my energy. I want to project better energy. I want to be in a better light. And when we little, it's kind of like, you don't have any control. So you don't have any control as far as like how your parents, your renters, or whoever is raising you. You don't have any control over, a certain degree of things because they're responsible for us. So with us understanding that, even when we were younger, we still figured out ways how to wiggle around stuff so we didn't sit in a bad energy, weird energy, upset energy, frustrated energy, even though we all experience it. And it kind of hit hard, just kind of seeing, you know, everything transpiring outside of me with someone so close to me. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm used to being in the fire. So for me going through the fire, that shit ain't nothing. You know what I mean? But the way the trials are set up and the way the attacks come, it makes you feel, I ain't gonna go that route. It lets you know the areas that are weak and the areas you need to strengthen up. It lets you know your weak areas. So that's why most of the time when all of us are getting attacked or going through some witchy shit, it's always like, oh, they're hitting me here in this area. And you know the area they're hitting you because it's almost like they're checking you like a baby. You know how babies got the soft spots like right here on the top of their head? Or, that's kind of what these other beings are doing. They're checking us for soft spots. So then when they touch us or hit us in one of them soft spots, it got a big impact. It has a huge impact. That's why most of us be getting weirded out when all of that stuff starts happening because you start getting confused. It even if you don't tell somebody where your soft spot is at, these beings are searching for your soft spot. They're searching for it. So that's why you see the system don't have to do a whole lot. You don't see police running around every neighborhood in every area. You know why? Because your neighbors is the police. Your neighbors is part of the system. You may have somebody in the house with you that's connected to the system. Soon as you start speaking out against something in your own space, here goes all the friction and the tension and the bumping of heads because the system already has done its job. The police is the protection, quote unquote, fake protection. And then you have the government assistance and all of that stuff as a provider. So now you basically just remove the man out the house. And then as far as the men, we got microwaves. So now we don't even look for females or have somebody even fix us a meal or us try to fix ourselves a better meal. I don't do microwaves, but I am a male. That's why I put myself in that category. I used to use microwaves 4 or 5 years ago. My microwave broke and then I stopped wearing them. Yeah. All these towns are wild. All of them is like the wild, wild west. So you have to understand that when you are moving around with these demons, you have to be very mindful of how you use your words. Your words become a weapon. That's your sword. It's one of your swords. Your words do. So when I'm in those spaces and I got these beings around and now I'm at a place to where I understand more and I'm more connected, more aligned, and the more we are all in this space, this is how it's going to operate for all of us. This is why the system don't have to do a whole lot opposed from just keeping the beings around them and the other beings, them zombie bots, in a sunken space. It's no different than them saying, what was this with the millionaires and some submarine shit? Like, come on, man. Like, most millionaires already understand, especially in Western society, how the money operates and controls and dictates things. So if I know that they make Saw movies, I know that they're willing to put me in a real life Saw movie. So I wouldn't put myself in a submarine with no oxygen, with 2 other people, and I got all this bread, there's no ins and out. It's just a whole process. I don't really care for diving into that. I haven't did any research on that. I only seen like 1 or 2 posts, but I hear, you know what I'm saying? I hear. So for me, I already understood that that was a way to keep their bots in the sunken space. And now you got all these reprobate minds just running back around, regurgitating some information that they don't even know. Oh, have you heard about the submarines who died? You don't even know if anybody was in there or any millionaires. We don't know shit. This is just what they tell us. We don't know shit. Peace, family. We don't know. So we have to understand that most of us who's my age and up, maybe a little bit, couple years down, we didn't grow up with technology. So we understand that technology can be more manipulated than this physical realm we are in. So if you can manipulate that more, then you don't really have to have a real story in the digital world. You can just create it. You know what I mean? It's no different than when we dive into certain places in our spiritual realm. Hey, peace. Yes. I know we're going to be doing this more. It's just been a lot of life going on and trying to get everything organized. And like I said, we all under attack. I've seen a couple people saying like they hiding my videos on my channel or some stuff. That's expected. I ain't even gonna lie. That's expected. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if they was just gonna shoot me to the forefront. That mean that I'm moving too goddamn witchy. If I had came up here and I shot straight up to 50,000, 100,000, 500,000 subscribers, I already know that I must be saying something that is not running concurrent with the creator. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of beings out here that will dibble and dabble and will use the creator just as leverage so they can get the bag, which is understandable. It's wrong, and I would be swiping left on the motherfuckers if it wasn't no system. But just speaking as far as what they're allowed to do, you know, I see some beings come into this realm and they use Christianity and they can shoot straight up to the roof. So if you using Christianity and you shooting straight through the roof, then you have to know that there's a catch-22 with either you as a being and a character and an entity, or there's a catch-22 in the knowledge and information you putting out. See, the system is not going to allow beings who feel, seem, look believable and solid in real lifetime, or beings who make or may seem like people would follow behind or intake their information or the information that's coming through them a little bit more. And I already understand these things, you know what I'm saying? So if I wanted to be out here doing some ratchet shit, we all could be, and we all could be diving in, getting a nice old healthy bag, but that's not the space we're in. That's why I say the righteous ones are in danger. So you cannot, like, even your little ones, you have to think about your little ones, even your little ones, even if you don't have none yourself, you got little cousins or nieces or nephews. And if you don't, most people still got godchildren or friends that already got some, so they in a space like, I don't want any, but you are still involved in, you know, some other little beings around. Well, you got the other demons who are with the little girls. They are pressed to get their nails done. I see little people, parents dyeing their hairs already. You know, it's like a whole lot of stuff that children aren't doing. These are adults treating little people like Barbie dolls. Why are grown-ups treating their little people like Barbie dolls? If my mini wanted locks, she can grow them when she want to or get them fixed whenever she want to, but that's not something that I'm like, yeah, I know locks look good on you. I'm about to put them on you right now. Oh, I know this blue hair would look good. Put it in there right now. You haven't even got these beings comfortable within themselves. They don't even know who they are. But you want to paint their fingernails, paint their toenails, color their hair, put them in Jordans, every designer outfit. They don't even know what that shit is. They don't know. They don't know, and they don't care. They only care when it comes to how much you're programming them and then how much their environment is influencing them. That's what matters. My mini was we just had a conversation. I was at the grocery store, and I'm always, every 3 months, 6 months, I'm always trying to figure out a new way to transition. I am very uncomfortable when I'm comfortable, if that makes sense. When shit is comfortable, I get uncomfortable. It gets really uneasy when things are comfortable because I'm like, somebody is lurking. I got something that's getting ready to transpire and happen. So for me, I make sure that every 3 months, 6 months, we transition in something. You know, the system is clocking us. If you got an Apple Watch, they're clocking you. If you got an iPhone, they're clocking you and tracking you. Debit cards, they're clocking you and tracking you. You want the newest car? They're clocking you and tracking you. All of us, most of us have seen the old show Bait Car before. You know what I mean? And it was dirty, and we all still watched it and gave them money to set people up and then really put them in jail and prison behind some shit that they baited them on. You know what I mean? But now you got everybody being like, oh, I want a Tesla. Oh, I want the new, what is it? Spat, the fucking, I don't know, the Spat Cat. You got the Hellcats. You got the Devil Cats. I don't fucking know. All I know is the same way they can shut bait cars off, if you are trying to do something righteously, they will have the same access to you the same way they did to these bait cars. That's just what's going to happen. The same way you got a ring bell in front of your house, they have access to when you're coming and leaving. So while you are thinking, oh yeah, well, I could see who's dropping something off at my house, who's pulling up, they're clocking you to see when you're leaving in and out the house so they can get your routine down together. So that way they can figure out what they're going to do. And that depends on what level you are at. It depends on your level. You are not going to be able to move righteously in this society without keeping your weapons close by. Simple process. I don't give a damn if you're a female, if you're a little being, if you're a big being, a male. I don't care if you grandma, grandpa. It doesn't matter. You're going to have to. Because what's going to happen is they are looking to take us out. If you haven't realized, some of us are protected, but some of us have moved on to our next journey sooner than we're supposed to because we got caught slipping. That's a simple process. You done got caught slipping before in real life time and fucked up some money. You probably done fucked up your car, you done fucked up your house. You know what I'm saying? Just from getting caught slipping. Because we don't have a close-knit community to where we got people we can count on and rely on. I had a conversation with my female cousin, and I'm going to have her up on the show. She got a crazy story. You know what I'm saying? She still got some stuff going on, but I feel like me and her of our generations, and that's on my dad's side too, she's the female version of me. But she was saying something one day and just kept saying like, oh man, we talking too much. You talking too much. You talking too much. And I just kept thinking to myself, you don't realize, Cuzzo, like you've been in New York and I'm down here in VA, but I'm a doer. I'm a doer. It took time to set the cameras up, set lights up, set the phone up. I had to get the self in momentum and energy. And before I was even in this space, I was using these beaters right here. So to even be in that space of saying, we need more doors, it's too much talking. I already understood what she was saying. It's like, we got to start from somewhere. You don't have a community to depend on. You don't even have a family you can go to. Half of us don't even have the finances structured to be able to help people the way we want to. You know, so instead of us trying to figure out a way to open avenues so the bag come to us, the witchy team let you tell it, let them tell it, chase the bag, chase the bag, chase the bag, chase it, chase it, chase it, chase it. And then after you get tired of chasing, you burnt down, you be like, damn, I still ain't made no progress. So for me, I understand the creator tells us to open doors, open avenues. Everything is already there in abundance. It's already there in abundance. Soon as you stop worrying and processing those things, you'll always see that things start dropping back in place. It doesn't matter what it is. Maybe something weird happened at the job, and now all of a sudden, you done got a couple more dollars, or you got a paid vacation, or they done gave you something. They gave you some kind of benefits from just keeping these doors open. You know what I mean? Yes, the protection is mandatory. And to be honest, like, it's getting to the point to where it's not going to be just only defense, you know. It's getting to a point to where you ain't going to have no choice but to play offense. It's either you going to play some offense, or you could just go hang out with the creator or go to your next journey. Because that's how serious it is out here these days. They are not playing. They are playing for keeps. If you haven't been around any people in real life time and heard them engaging in politics, any of this stuff that these people are talking about and regurgitating, some of this stuff that they done already got us programmed into, then you gotta understand, like, you lost. Like, these people aren't doing no deep diving. They have no depths. Most of them aren't even thinking for themselves. We got to get to a better space and understand the righteous is under attack. I don't care what name or title. Yo, principles, morals, and values, you have to stand solid on them. As a man, any males, any real men watching, know that you have to be willing to go at any given time. Females, y'all secondary. Men, you have to be willing to go at any given time. You have to be willing to get physical whenever it is called for. You got to learn how to protect your energy, project your energy to let people know that you are willing to go those lengths. Because if you're not, then you know you're going to get taken advantage of. And since we don't have a community right now, it's not a lot of me's and other beings close to me around to protect the ones who are not as physically strong. That's just how simple it is. So in my world, it's like, if we're not physically strong enough and spiritually strong enough and capable enough to manage some things, then some of these men who are in that space, you have to get with some of the stronger ones. We have to start building the communities back. There is never going to be a time where this is the perfect time to do it. I got all my bills paid. I got all my cars fixed. I got all my houses together. It's never going to be a right time for that. Because every time you get one organized, something else is going to happen. Whether it's something you forgot to take care of and it's coming back to you, or it's somebody who's been playing you close and they ready to sabotage your life. So that's why they always say it's important to just do it now. Do it now. You know what I'm saying? We under attack. It's not gonna stop or slow down any until they got us all swipe left, swipe left, swipe left. So understanding these things, y'all, like we gotta understand, we gotta move and operate differently than what the masses is doing. I had filmed a couple times, but for some reason they was just tweaking my goddamn content. One of them, the sound wasn't on, so I'm just like, but I had mentioned some things about like, if we understand the system is into this pedal thing, you know what I'm saying? The old ass on the young ass little ones. That's weird. So as you get older and you're growing, women have to get to a better space to where I want to be able to distinguish on the outside, because men are visual creatures. I cannot do anything with my genetic build. I know that I am a spiritual being having a human experience, and I want to connect with the spiritual being over there. But I know what gets me to the door is the outside. So if the outside is something that's important, that means if you are honestly really trying to move more righteously, you wouldn't go out the house looking like a robber if you're not a robber. And I'm just using hypothetical, meaning mask on. I know people rob all the time without mask and they just sit at home and they computer, blah, blah. But I'm thinking as far as picture-wise, just painting a picture. We all know their stereotypes. Robbers is wearing hoodies, wearing masks, gloves, everything to cover physical identity. So if you aren't the one robbing the store, why are you going to the store with your mask and gloves on? That don't make sense to me. So I would keep my energy like kind of away or prepared, because you look like a robber. So in my world, it's no different with the women. They all like, oh yeah, I could wear what I want to wear. Yes, but you look like a demon. You look like a demon, and you keeping anything that is possible, because you got to remember, it's less righteous men around. So if you dress like a demon and you go to a store, it could be one or two righteous men in there. But because you dress like a demon, they gonna skip right past you. And it's the same thing with the men. If you aren't standing solid, you don't have to be the most confident, but you have to be solid in your being. And everything is on a percentage scale. So get as close as you can, man. If you ain't all the way up there, try to push it up to 80%, 75%. It ain't gotta be 100. You know what I mean? But we have to start making sure, look at it like this. We are all not allowed to drive cop cars. Even though cop cars is on the market, and every time we see a cop car that's not a cop car, what do? We slow down and we treat that motherfucker like a cop car. Simple process. You're not gonna go to too many hoods and see a Charger that don't got a light on it, a Caprice that don't have a light on it, a Dodge, any of these cars. You're gonna treat them like a fucking cop. So when I see, and when other of us see other beings dressed and looking like demons, we don't have a choice. And I say that to say, because I was going to make an order the other day, and I seen one female. She was cute as shit. I was like, damn. The way the system is set up, y'all too demonic, so I don't go out my way in real life unless it's some kind of cue. So I just kind of looked, and I was about to go back about my... She walked past me fast enough for me to see, and I'm like, oh shit. The looks is here, but she didn't shave her legs. You could see it because she got darker hair, so you can see the hair in her legs. For me, at 37 years old, I just kept thinking, thank you, God. Like, about time it's a female out here that's okay with being a grown-ass woman. A female okay with being a grown-ass woman. Pedophilia is huge in the system. So that's where all of this shaving shit comes from. You are not cleaning yourself by shaving. God already made you clean. Unless you just a dirty motherfucker. So that was subtle. That was slight. You know what I mean? But just even me seeing that, like, that takes a lot for a female to get in that space, to be comfortable, to be able to walk around natural. It takes a lot for a female to be able to walk around natural. I don't think y'all understand like how much strength that takes when females are basically almost built around their physical attributes. You know, whether the witchy ones is getting the surgery or the non-witchy ones, they still keep up their upkeeps. You know what I'm saying? So just even understanding that brought me. I never was attracted to that shit, but me transitioning where I'm at, when I saw it, I was like, oh. I was about to go jump out the window, but I didn't. I just kept thinking to myself, damn, that's fire. You know what I'm saying? That's fire as fuck. Like, so I can imagine you probably don't shave your armpits either, which is cool. I've never seen somebody who had a beautiful spirit and they was just disgusting because, you know, they let their natural hair grow and they kept up their maintenance the way they do. You know? Man literally told me they are turned off by my hair on my legs. I don't care. Yeah, that's because they're demons. That's demons. That's why they would say that. Yeah, I've never met a female who had hair on their legs or the ones who don't shave for a long time. Because you know, women, y'all don't shave for like 3-4 days. Y'all got pricklies. You know what I'm saying? I got razor blade cuts from rubbing legs. I'm like, damn. I don't like that in between phase. Grow that shit or shave it every goddamn day. And I'm not a shave every goddamn day kind of being. So I'm like, just grow that shit out. What to do if someone has your hair? Keep your connection with the creator. If someone has your hair, you know that they can work spells and do different things towards your vessel, your energy, your spirit. So the best thing you can do is what we always doing. Keeping ourselves protected, constantly working our defense. You know what I'm saying? Make sure our tools are sharp. When people are in the military and the army, even if they're not shooting their guns, you know that they still learn how to break them down and clean them and do all of that, right? So that's the same thing we have to be doing out here. You know what I mean? So yeah, if somebody got your hair, you gotta keep yourself airtight as always. You know what I'm saying? So you just know that, especially if, what other reason would somebody have your hair? Like I be losing little pieces and stuff here and there, but it's like if a female or somebody had my hair, I'm like, I don't sell my hair. So the only other reason you would have my hair is to try to cast some kind of spell on me or to cause some kind of harm to me. Because if you was really for me, you wouldn't need my hair. You could just come give me my blessings and my rewards while I'm here. That's what you could do. So yeah, Jazz, I would keep myself protected. The Bronx is wicked. Everything is wicked. I got half my family from the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? Syracuse and the Bronx. Mom's side, Syracuse, New York. Dad's side, Harlem and the Bronx and the rest of the boroughs. So me, I'm all over New York City and the outskirts. You know what I mean? So if it's wicked there, it's wicked everywhere. That's why I never try to pinpoint a specific Western location. I say all Western societies because the same way you're saying Bronx is wicked, is places out in the UK that's fucking wicked. It's places out in Africa that is fucking wicked. You know what I'm saying? Like I got places in Virginia that's fucking wicked. It's all wherever the system has implanted themselves at. Yeah, don't give your hair away. If he wants your hair, look at the fruits. 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 You know what I'm saying? Look at the fruits. That's the whole purpose of growing. It's like we grow stuff, but then we don't even utilize the fruits or anything that's extracted from it last. So it's kind of like weed growers, people who grow marijuana. They use every part of the flower. They use the actual flower, they use the leaves, they use the stems, they use the sticks, they use every piece that they can possibly use. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm big on fruits. I'm big on fruits. When I come across people and they treat me like a demon, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I know what space you're in, so I know not to get offended by it anymore. I've lived a life to where the creator, I've proven so much shit to the creator. I don't give a fuck about proving anything to these motherfuckers out here. What I need to prove to them? They not going on to the same place I'm going when I leave here. And when I was talking to my cousin, she kept saying she ain't supposed to be here. She ain't supposed to be here. What the fuck is she doing here? And in my world, I was letting her talk, but I kept thinking to myself, damn, I'm the male version of her. I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I wasn't here, there's nobody else in my town, Nobody else in my family who's doing what the fuck I'm doing. That's trying to even reach and help and feed or be a vessel for the Creator. Become a vessel for the Creator. I know a bunch of people know how to work a job, but they not under attack because they not moving righteously. They don't even comprehend that. I had somebody get off the phone without even saying bye. This is my daughter. She had two people do this. She was talking to some of her little friends or whatever, and they got off the phone without saying bye, and she was just kind of thrown off by it. And I was like, I look at the parents. They're being taught these things. You know better because I'm in the picture and I show you and I teach you differently. They aren't being taught. So what's being taught is disrespect. What's being taught is fuck you. It's all about me. Even at the youngest age. Yeah, you happy gave birth to a son. He is now my bodyguard. Hey, make sure he is right. You know, that's really not supposed to be his job as a bodyguard because he got to be building his tribe as well too. But that is good that y'all got a good bond and you keep it connected because, you know, we are supposed to be more and be there for our, you know, the ones who brought us in this realm. But most of them are so damn witchy, we don't even give 2 cents about them. I done talked to so many people, they like, yeah, that's just how my mom is. And it's like, oh yeah, you okay with all this witchy stuff and you having to call your friends to fix your energy because your mom had said this or did that, and or your dad wasn't around or he just did this, or it's like, that's not okay. But let them tell it. It is okay because that's what they used to. You know what I mean? Come to a point where you can't through the program people, it's not worth your energy even. It's not. When you interact and you engage with some of these zombie bots, you have to be processing how to better yourself, how to keep your emotions under control and make sure you can respond faster, engage better, make sure you're asking the right questions to their responses, make sure you throwing the right information back out there. When I engage with zombie bots, I'm working on myself. I'm looking at zombie bots like a punching bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, they here, but you just a punching bag. Like, I know that you're, yeah, it was a submarine. Yeah, it was fires from Canada coming all the way to Virginia and Florida. Get the fuck out of here. Canada has been in the same spot for 37 years. I ain't never seen no goddamn piece of smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even let us travel to Canada, but the smoke can travel down here. Hey, we can't even travel to Canada, but the smoke can come here. Like, I get retarded the more I listen to that shit. So when it starts going in, I'm like, hell no. I start throwing uppercuts and blows spiritually. I'm like, I gotta get the fuck away from that shit. That shit make me retarded. I don't like that shit. I don't get confused. I feel like I'm getting dumber, to be honest with you. That's just me being real. So I'm just sitting here thinking. Now I'm wasting time and energy thinking about, the fire came from Canada. What part of Canada? I'm on the East Coast. Did it come from the East Coast of Canada? Or did it come from the West Coast of Canada? Or did it come from way the fuck up where what they call it? North America? I don't know what part of Canada it came from. They just said Canada. That's just like saying, yeah, it came from New York. What part of New York did it come from? Hey, shout out to New Zealand. Shout out New Zealand. Okay, we got you from VA too. Yeah, but we got to use our knowledge that we were given from the Creator. The more you tap into their shit, the dumber you're going to feel. The dumber you're going to feel. When you get information from the Creator, it doesn't take you 5 years, 2 months, 3 hours and 7 minutes to come to a conclusion. The Creator sends the information, they're like, oh shit, bing! Damn, that makes sense. But then you deal with the witchy team or somebody else that's using the witchy team information, and all of a sudden you sitting here pondering. You're like, damn, what came first? Well, if I get in the water, am I wet? Or is it considered wet if I'm out the water? Did the chicken come first? Did it come second? Like, that shit is too much. That shit is way too much. You gotta realize how lost civilization would be if that's what we pondered and spent all our goddamn time focusing on. You know what I mean? We at a day and age now to where we are the transition for humans. We are the transition for humans. Our parents and our parents before didn't get any of the shit that we're dealing with. They had to manage their shit differently because it's the same system that was working on them. I'm not taking away from how they got worked on. But what I'm saying is for us, this generation, this space that we are in, we are the first generation of full-on technology. The first ones. Ain't no AI is so much smarter than us. No, we created AI. So if I create something, you're not smarter than me. You're not more knowledgeable than me. You're not wiser than me. You may have more information because you used multiple human beings to compile it together. But that wasn't one being in one computer, and then that one being in one computer just put that source in there. No, you collectivized all of that. And even if you realize these things, right? How many times have you tried to Google, turn a channel, turn a radio station? Spiritually, you had already turned it. You was already on the next page. You was already on the next channel. But you still have to wait for the technology to catch up to you. But let them tell it. The technology is smarter than you. It's not. It's more humans that spent time studying technology. Think about it. We get better at what we focus our energy on. So if I gave my daughter this water and said, hey, study this water, make it. She did it in a better version. And she did the same thing to the next generation, to her little ones. This would be better. It would keep evolving because we're focusing our energy on making a better water bottle. If you want to look at aliens, we the goddamn aliens. Stop looking outside of you everywhere else and all over the place. You know what I'm saying? There's God and the devil and all. Ain't no devil in me. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know where y'all get that shit from. I don't know where y'all get that shit from. I don't know why people think because you got some warrior in you and some fight in you, you got a devil in you. That's retarded. I do not move around doing ill harm to people that don't deserve it. I don't. The rage that was small, y'all better down there. They called on their ancestor, rage that was small. The rage don't have anything to do with demon time. Rage don't have anything to do with demon time. We had all of these emotions before the demons decide to flip it. Y'all niggas retarded. Look out in nature and tell me how many squirrels you see with a demon in them. Tell me how many ants you see with a demon in them. Tell me how many birds you see dead in the street that's retarded or with a demon in them. That don't make sense. That don't make sense. This is what I be saying about how shit get regurgitated out and you don't have no source of it. How does that make sense? There is a God and a devil in all of us. No, there is not. My God ain't got no space for no demon. It ain't got no space. That don't make no sense. If that was the case, right? They wouldn't have to go through the hard programming and trauma bonding and destroying us the way they do to get us to conform. It would be easy. They would just only feed the bad wolf. That's what they would do. This is how the word spells work, and this is where you gotta keep yourself from getting lost at. Animals do know how to respect each other. They definitely do. Because you can look at the safari using the technology, and you can see zebras, kangaroos, lions, hippos, all of these motherfuckers all around the water. Does that mean they all got a little demon in them too? A little devil in them too? Like, that shit weird. That's what I was almost going to do a video on a piece of content that I saw, and it was like somebody trying to give some uplifting information. They was like, you got to like the good, bad, and the ugly. I'm like, wait a minute. Why is it double on the negative? The good, bad, and ugly. Why is this doubled up instead of this being together? I never understood that. I don't have good, bad, and ugly in me. That's not how this shit works. And even if you do, because you don't like yourself and you think some things about you are ugly spiritually or physically, you know what I'm saying? I accept me as I am, and I'm growing and going to continue to grow. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? We have attributes of all things down here. We are not natural predators. That's not that. Maybe you, depending on where your culture was raised, you could have been in the mountains, nigga. So that's all you had to do was hunt. But my culture is people who grow on land, that live off the food, motherfuckers. Places you can go to where people won't eat anything that's cooked. They only eat from trees and shit that's grown. Shit is crazy. Shit is crazy. That shit crazy. Look, man, you gotta connect it back to the source and the creator. This is how you know if you're speaking hoobla habla blah. Hoobla habla ha. You gotta know the difference. Ugly is buying stuff in bulk, GMO. Big facts. All this shit bad though, for real, for real. It's a lot of bad shit. So you gotta, what I always say to everyone is practice and learn to fast. Eat when your body tells you to eat, or feed your body if you know you're going to be out for a long period of time and you know you won't be near food. These are the times we should be eating. You don't just eat because, oh shit, damn, I don't got anything to do with myself, so let me just fucking pick up these chips and pick up this burger and pick up these Starbursts. Like, that's how most of us was programmed to see food, because we have an excessive amount of it. You couldn't even go to the gas station without fighting your own thoughts to get some candy, you know. And then most of us in the Western society got fucking cavities. If not, we live at the dentist. It's gonna be one of the two. Cavities, dentistry. My elders and healthy options. Big facts. We need more elders. What's gonna happen is, and if the system hasn't done what it was gonna do, and even if it does what it's gonna do, we are going to be the elders that makes the transition, that helps the next generation, us. But we are extremely vocal about the elder generation that's not fucking present right now. It's a lot of elders that's not present, and that's just teaching people that it's okay to just go with the flow. That's putting little girls that's 5, 6, 7, 8 years old in 2-piece bathing suits. You don't even have no breasts. Why do you do this? Oh, because it's cute or it looks good. You are whoring these little girls out at an early age, sexualizing them at an early age. You know what I'm saying? Like, if God tells you to lie down and take it, God removed his own angels because of this. Nigga, your name matches what you say. Weirdo. Nigga, angels are down here now. Stop being a weirdo. I ain't about to read no more of them shits, bro. That's weird as hell. That is weird as hell. God ain't tell me to lie down shit. Hoe ass shit. If I was laying down, nigga, I'd be dead. I'd be dead right now. I'd be dead. I fuck with the Israelites, everybody that's moving with the creator. You know what I mean? Yes, there are Israelites that's fugazi and that's fake and that's with the witchy shit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you probably will, because that's retarded. That's retarded. My creator ain't never tell me to lay down, ever. How many birds do you see dead in the middle of the street? How often have you seen a bird dead in the middle of the street? Well, wait. Let me know. Let me know. How often do you see dead birds in the middle of the street? Oh, shit, that's taking a while. Exactly. So what do you call standing your ground? Standing your ground depends on your situation, bro. It depends on your situation with standing your ground is. So if you have, so I'll just use this as an example because I am in the digital world. I've been jailed on TikTok for my content. I've been jailed on YouTube for my content. So me standing my ground would be continuously putting more content out, continually being a vessel for the creator, continuously not lying down, continuously not speaking the truth and presenting more substance and value. All of these things would go hand to hand with what you're saying. You know what I'm saying about the Bible? It's been changed several times. Big facts. Pope admitted they change all religion books. That's facts. Pray for discernment. God will reveal the truth. Ask and you will receive. Big facts. Big facts. Eating raw ginger root. Yeah, that's good for you too. You know what I'm saying? Because that's grown straight out the ground. So that's good for you too, Jack and Kiara. That's big facts. I don't disagree or have like any hate towards the Bible. And I know it's been altered a lot. But when you understand the analogies and you able to kind of put two and two together, and you can take the friction and weird stuff that the other control people put in there, you can still utilize that information. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not one of them people that's like, oh, hate Christians in the Bible is fake. You know what I'm saying? I ain't one of them beings. I was raised a Christian in a Baptist church, but I don't practice that stuff, but I know it's diluted with a bunch of toxins. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just mindful of the toxins that's in there when I do have to hear stories or allegories and things of that nature. You know what I mean? They stretching the pain makes them scream like Michael Jackson when his hair got burned. Hey, and to be honest, that changed Michael Jackson's life from there. We haven't seen him ever since that commercial, Bill. We ain't seen him since that commercial. Michael Jackson could have been the first clone they put in front of us, to be honest with y'all. I know that plastic surgery is a thing, but why would you go through this much plastic surgery when you can just put a clone in place? Every time you do plastic surgery, you got to wait weeks, months to heal over. You know what I'm saying? When you get a clone, it's just ready. You just slap them out there. You know what I mean? So just some food for thought. You know what I'm saying? They are definitely cloning. You gotta look up Dolly the sheep. You know what I'm saying? They worked on her a long time ago. But all of these little mutt dogs and all this shit that everybody got, the little chihuahua and all these other little things that they got running around, all these shit's been cooked up in a lab. A lot of this shit has been cooked up in the lab. You know what I'm saying? So while people are like, yeah, I want a dog. I want to be a dog lover. I like dogs and all this shit. You realize how much other life you're putting to the back burner? When people say, oh, I love dogs, it's like you saying, all right, not be funny, right? Because once you understand history and knowledge, like we all know that the Caucasian culture is the newest culture here on this planet. So when you're putting dogs first, you're basically saying, fuck all the other cultures that came before. You know what I'm saying? In another subtle manner. Animals must save to rescue, you know, animals from different species. Animals will rescue other animals. Facts, they do. Facts. They all spiritual beings and having their experience the same way we are. That's why we can learn. All of this shit is a reflection. That's why I say, like, the righteous are under attack. I don't give a damn if you a righteous bird. I guarantee you the other birds trying to get at you. I guarantee you. That's how bad this shit is out here. Like, I've seen vultures flying around by themselves, and them niggas usually mobbed up in groups. When I was younger, I never seen vultures like less than 3 or 4. Now I go outside, I can catch one flying around or eating on a carcass by himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck his tribe. He ain't vibing with them, so he gonna go do his own thing. You know what I mean? Everything is energy and no amount of makeup, plastic surgery. That's big facts. We all knew this before they keep changing the names of everything. Before it was just plastic surgery. Now to make people feel better, they call it BBL. I don't give a damn about a BBL, a BBW, a BBM, a BMW. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, to be honest with you. Like, I am burnt out over all of that shit. So that's why I was like, when I made the statement earlier about how I ran into a female, just out and about. It wasn't nobody I was engaged or anything, just out and about. And I seen the hair on the legs. It just kind of brought a new attraction and attention to my spiritual realm. Because I realized you have to be a certain being in order to be able to walk around in society and feel comfortable doing certain things. You know what I'm saying? Bad energy is off, offensive, designer clothes, cars, not gonna help it. Big facts. Big facts. I seen the fat bot get dookied out in the Poodle Punch production video. Cool, man. Hey, man, we gotta stay off them sites, man. Them sites are dangerous. Would you want to change the skin you're in? Hell no. Hell no. Why would I change my skin? Like, this comes with so many special attributes. Like, it's so much shit it's places where I can go and just walk as me and motherfuckers split like the part C, like the Red Sea. And that's either because they too goddamn scared or they too goddamn demonic. One of the two. Hell to the no. Hell no. Hell no. I would never change skin. I wouldn't bleach my skin. Matter of fact, I'll go out in the sun and get darker. That's what I'll do. I've been made fun of my skin complexion my entire life because I've always been darker than most of my friends. I was always the chocolate darkness. darkness, any kind of dark chocolate, crispy, night owl, any kind of thing you could think of that manner. Trust me, I done heard all of it. Like, and I grew up in a generation, that's what we do. We joke and clown. So it forces you to grow comfortable in your skin. Unlike this new generation, you call a female fat and she mad. Like, bitch, you fat. How you getting mad at me because you keep stuffing your fat ass face and I called you out on it? That's like me being mad at my friends because nigga, you burnt, nigga. You look like a piece of bacon that was left on the stove too long. How am I get mad at them? Because I am technically darker than them. You know what I mean? Like, shit kind of funny. Like, oh, you got long hair. No, don't tell me I got long hair. That's what it sounds like when females be like, don't call me fat, bitch. Don't come outside then. Don't come outside. They need to make smaller doors. That's what they need to do. We're going to start making doors like this big, bitch, for niggas too. All of you motherfuckers. They shut this system down. We all fucked. We are all fucked. Smaller doors. Don't make taller. If you ever notice, you go to rich people's house, they got the tallest doors in the world. Them niggas be under 6 foot, but they door is like 9 feet high. Make your door slimmer. That's what you do. Don't make taller doors, make slimmer doors. And no, you cannot turn to the side to get in there. You gotta walk straight in that motherfucker. I'm telling you, it's so many different things that people could be doing differently to shift this thing faster and immediately. You don't have to take accountability because most of us men who's moving more righteously, we forced to either way. You know what I mean? So when it comes to implementing and discussing some of these other things, it's like, hey, my generation, we grew up clowning and joking. So if I'm stating the obvious over here to somebody and shit, oh well. When people are ugly, I don't joke on them about being ugly unless they're close to me because that's something you was born with. You know what I mean? You born with your physical features. Your dad and your mom genes did not blend that good. I'm leaving it at that. The genes just didn't mesh that well. But I won't fry you on that. But if you got to turn sideways to get in this door, I will roast you. I will roast you, especially if you got bad energy. If you have bad energy. Oh, I love marijuana. If you looked at any of my content, I was smoking in my content. It's just that in order for me to do things through the system, I have to eliminate some things. So it's like, I can keep my medicine off the camera. It don't deteriorate anything. It was just a bunch of people kept flying in, and then the system was being all weird. And I'm like, you know what? Y'all making me hold myself accountable. I can drink my water off camera. I can take my medicine off camera. You know what I'm saying? Be careful with it. You gotta be careful with everything in life, man. Be careful opening your mouth. You gotta be careful with everything. You know what I mean? You gotta be careful with everything. Everything. The thing is with me and the marijuana, I'm a liquid drinker. So as much as people may say, hey, don't do the flowers. I know they're natural and they grow from the ground, but you should eat this cheeseburger or this steak that's fucking red and bloody. And you don't have to worry about being careful because it has proteins in it. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know that cow had to eat something, right? The proteins is in the plants. The proteins is in the grass. The proteins is in the hay. You stupid motherfuckers keep thinking that you gotta eat meat to get proteins, and that shit is secondary. That's why I say, like, it forces me to get dumber when I have to go into them spaces. Be a loner. Nah, I don't want to be a loner either because that's weak as fuck, man. I don't like not being around people all the time. I like dipping off into my own space, but I love being around people. I would like to orchestrate towards a community and we're all on land. I could dip over into my log cabin. We can come out, work together. I could dip off in my space. I can come back out, see my people that I love and vibe with. That's what I want to do. I don't want to be all isolated and cocooned off like what's that motherfucker? Tom Hanks in that weird movie? Talking to a volleyball. Like, that's weird. Beef rips my stomach, man. I believe it. It's probably ripping more than your stomach. You know what I'm saying? But that's just like some of the other stuff we eat too that's tearing us up and ripping us up. You know what I'm saying? So it's really just being mindful. We are all under attack. But all of us being under attack, it's like Skittles. You can attack this whole bag of Skittles, right? But then they're gonna single out the yellow ones because we're the righteous one. And now all of these Skittles is ganging up on us, along with whoever bought the bag of Skittles is ganging up on us. You see what I'm saying? You cut people off. I love how genuine, but yeah, only way you're gonna get genuine friends is by stop saying you're a loner. You're projecting that and you're putting that spell on yourself. It's okay to be in your own space, but don't tell yourself you're a loner, because then you're not leaving any space in the spiritual realm for other entities who may love your energy to access you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't like this whole isolation thing, but I understand it too. You know what I'm saying? You got to isolate away from the demonic beings, but you have to keep your faith and your hope in the creator. And you have to keep those avenues open. You have to keep those avenues open. Most of us feel better once we start engaging with people who do care about us. You know what I'm saying? That's why even if you get demons who pretend and they do a really good job at acting and pretending, you still kind of like it a little bit. And if you're in the Western society, movies are huge. Motherfuckers are acting every goddamn day. Every time I see a celebrity, I'm assuming they acting. I don't give a damn if they pretending to be real on social media. You are taught how to act from a very young age. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want to go into the movies or whether you're just trying to reenact something. You know what I'm saying? So if you are protecting the spiritual realm, curses, hexes will kill the birds around you. It will keep them at a bay. You know what I'm saying? It would definitely keep them at a bay. I ain't gonna say it's just gonna literally swipe left on them, but I do agree to keep them at bay. You know what I'm saying? We protected out here. Anyone else who feel a knowing something coming? Most of us know something is coming. You know what I'm saying? Most of us, intense UK proper fired up. You know what I'm saying? Most of us know. Most of us do. And that's why we all in this space of just trying to figure out what the hell is going on? What can we do right now? I don't want to figure out what I can do 10 years from now, because I don't even know what's up in 10 years from now. None of us know what's up in 10 years from now. You could be like, yeah, I'm going to school. I want to get my CDLs, or I want to get my hair license degree. I want to be a nurse. You don't know what the fuck life is going to look like 10 years from now. That's what I'm saying as far as our generation and the time we are in right now. You can process that long, but you don't know where life is going to be. So you have to be able to think faster and operate better on your toes during this time, because you don't know, we don't know. We just had smoke come from a whole nother realm here. You know what I'm saying? Just clear all over the US. Kids, little people start getting pink eyes. Some people start getting sick, falling out. Like, it was all kind of weird stuff happening. Then you got billionaires, so they say, in a damn submarine just being retarded. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have no purpose. They should have died. You're a billionaire. It's people out here fucked up. They should have died. People should have been round of applause to the fake story. Good job. We need to kill more billionaires. All right, YouTube, hey, y'all niggas heard me. We gonna swipe left. We ain't killing nobody. But look, check this out. Hey, you got that big bag. It's motherfuckers down here that don't got that big bag. Why are we concerned with what's going on with you? You know what I'm saying? The creator is not playing. You see how that shit just forced out my throat chakra? Hey, we need to get them niggas. My spirit is ready to act. My spirit is ready to go. It's kind of like before a game. Like, you just ready to get on the field and play. You ready to get on the court and go, but it's not game time yet. It's not game time. So you just sitting there listening to your music, getting hyped up. Yeah. Well, you know, I don't know what the girls do before they do their thing, but I know, man, we be in our minds. We be in our vibe. We be in that space. We trying to create that energy to where, hey, we got to knock your head off, or we trying to push the play to win. You know what I'm saying? So who gives a fuck about them? You ain't never seen none of their billions. So real or fake, they deserve fake shit and real shit. That's what I'm going to say. What do you think about the angel numbers? That's a catch-22 with me, because as far as angel numbers, I've seen demons catch these numbers. So for me, I just feel like when they're seeing these numbers, or when I'm seeing these numbers like this, it's like a synchronicity with the universe, and for whatever situation I'm in at that time. You know what I'm saying? So like, sometimes I'll be riding in the car in my past, and then like one of the females I was with, who I was with at the time, they'd be like, oh, it's 333. And I'm like, oh, okay, you caught that. I didn't catch it. So that means that you're in synchronicity with your thoughts, your actions around whatever is happening. I didn't catch it. You caught it. Now, if I caught it, I feel like it would have been some synchronicity. I would have been trying to put two and two together with it. But you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's more synchronicity because I just have been around a lot of demons and they love to use that. And not anything about them says angel. Your body feels electric, hair standing up, chills, goosebumps, notice fear in people's eyes. Big facts, big facts. I get goosebumps anytime I listen to some high vibrating righteous music. It hit my spirit different. People like, I used to listen to that trap shit when I would want to go to some spaces. Now I got my godly shit I listen to, you know what I'm saying? But it's people who went through real life stuff. So they got that same energy behind it. So I still get that same vibe. It's just more godly. You know what I mean? There's a spiritual time in 555. If you go in another part of the world, they may not even use numbers. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's a spiritual time in your world, in your realm, in your reality. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, depending on the Western society is a reality that's created and they've been sticking it everywhere. So it's kind of like them putting Starbucks everywhere, like they have been doing. You know what I'm saying? We all know that Starbucks is incorporated with uppity white women, even though everybody goes to Starbucks. I'm just saying, we all make jokes about, oh, they put a Starbucks in the hood, they about to gentrify. You know what I'm saying? That's a joke, but that's kind of, it kind of has some facts to it. You know what I'm saying? They'll put like 10% facts on it, and then the 80% is all bullshit. You know what I mean? So it's just, once we start understanding, like, when you are getting information from these demons, from reprobate minds, from the system, you have to question it. You have to, when the creator sends the information, the answer doesn't take forever. It doesn't. It does not take forever. When you are connected and you moving righteously and you say you one of them beings and your fruits is showing it, the answers come right to you. That's why people who move this way, they say, oh yeah, my intuition. I follow my intuition. You know, I got to follow this, I follow that. Because it doesn't take long for the information to come to you. So that's why I use the smoke clouds and the rich people as an example. You know what I'm saying? For people who tends to follow that way of thinking. Native American living is starting to resonate and look real appealing. Hey, most of us brown people are natives. I know I'm an aborigine to this land where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I'm not from Africa. And if you notice, most brown people that's in the States, you know what I'm saying? They put us connected with two continents. We don't even have our own culture. We do, but they trying to remove it by not speaking on it and discussing it. We have culture, but they try to remove it by not discussing it or speaking on it. So they say, okay, you brown, you're in the United States, you're from Africa, you're African American. And it's like, no, I'm not. Okay, well, you're American. I'm like, no, you just created that term American. You just created that. That term hasn't been around for thousands of years. You just created it. It's not anything wrong with creating new terms, but that's like you saying, okay, new word of the day is Hubadaha. Hey, you're part of the Hubadaha people over there. It's like, no, I'm not, nigga. You just made that shit up. In your world, to identify me, you can say that. In your world, you can identify me to say that. You can. But that's not what the fuck I am. No. That's like when people say, oh, you are, what they say, you're a felon. I'm like, fuck you. I be in the kitchen cooking. You don't call me a cook, bitch. I be sleeping in the bed. You don't tell me I'm a Tempur-Pedic sleeper, bitch. So don't sit here and try to put titles on me to identify me in your world, and they don't even fit me. At least you could do is be more righteous and organic with your title. That's the least you could do. But I also understand they do have the right to do that. They do. If I wanted to call this light ass, I'd call it ass if I want to. That's how I identify it in my spiritual realm. So I don't get mad at them for those things. We have to understand our history and what's going on within us. They love creating labels. But the thing is, they got the labels from us. Everything that they're doing, they took from us and flipped it. We label things so we can identify it. You never had a Tesla, but soon as you saw one or one was in your neighborhood, you start seeing Teslas everywhere. You may have never even known what a Mitsubishi Montero truck is, right? Because there's not that many out here. But once you see one, you've identified it and labeled it in your spiritual realm. So now it's brought awareness to it. So now you'll see it on the highway. You'll see it at the gas station. You'll see it at the stores. It's because of the awareness that was brought to it. Color does mean something. I ain't gonna say it means anything, but it doesn't define who you are, you know? It doesn't define you, but it does mean something. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know that like most brown people are faster than the Caucasian. It's just natural. Yes, you do have a small percentage that is faster, and then you got other things to factor in, but it's just like sports. Like it is attributes we get with these vessels. You have to understand that. It's kind of like when you get a new car, you either going to get a Bentley that comes with a lot of attributes, or you're going to go get a Pontiac that's a 1762, and you only get those attributes that come with that. I'm the spiritual being, so I can do everything, but it only depends on what kind of vehicle I am and the maintenance I keep up on my vehicle. Culture is what doesn't mix, not color. Culture is what doesn't mix. Cultures doesn't mix. I'm confused by that. That was a little confusion. Color doesn't mean anything. You are whatever you want to be. No, I don't like whatever you want to be because it's a lot of guys who want to be girls. It's a lot of girls who want to be guys. We are not in that day and age anymore. That is not gonna fly. So, you know, I know you've been with me for a long time, Mark, but those statements cannot fly anymore, man. They can't fly anymore, man. They can't. Because we got to make this shift change. I don't want my daughter thinking she a cat. I be having to tell her now when she see boys kissing, that shit weird. I tell her that. That shit weird. You ain't never going to see daddy kissing no man. I don't give a fuck who he is. I don't give a fuck if I had a son right now. I ain't going to be kissing him in the mouth. I don't care about that. That's not how this operates. You get good and bad people from all cultures. All of the good need to you. Big facts, because we spiritual beings. Big facts. So that's why I say, like, when I start coming into this awakening and just getting more realigned, I remember having a conversation with my mom and sister on the phone, and they had tried to tell me, oh, Chris, you pro-black now? I'm like, no, I'm not pro-black. I'm pro-righteous. I've been saying that for years. I'm pro-righteous. I don't give a fuck what color you are. I'm banging with you if you banging with my team. Simple process. If you banging with my team, I'm banging with you. I don't give a damn if you Japanese, Lapanese, Smackanese, red, white, yellow, green, blue, purple. I don't give a fuck what you are. God damn it. If you riding with my team, I'm fighting for you. It's been times I done stepped out for other animals. Like, hey, leave that animal, leave that bug alone. You know, I'm Captain Planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we watched that shit growing up. I didn't realize that's what they were doing. We're supposed to be protecting this realm. That's us. So if we aren't protecting it and we're destroying it, that means this realm is going to be gone shortly because we are supposed to be the ones protecting it. But how can you protect something if you don't even know what the fuck you are? You know what I mean? Most of us men have been too goddamn emotional because we just haven't had the structure. Then you got a lot of females who just had to adopt masculinity because the way the system has structured us and got us all bumping heads. We got men saying, I don't want to be with women. I'm one of them that was in that phase that was like, man, fuck these demon women, man. All of them coming off like demons that's coming near me. Like I said, if I don't see you with hair on your legs, a unibrow, or something that's just out of the ordinary, but it's natural, I'm going to automatically assume that you are in that space over there, which I shouldn't. But I was in that space, but I have to keep myself protected. It ain't like I'm afraid. I got to keep myself protected. And I'm out here publicly. So for people to come into my realm is different. It's enough of me out here for the world for you to tap in to see what kind of man this is, whether you want to open the door or not. Simple process. Look at the fruits. Use the fruits. You know, you want some apples and oranges, some healthy ones, or do you want some rotten ones? Or you may just want some oranges and some lemons, you know. If we don't protect our Mother Earth, who? Big facts. That's our job. That's our job. I've been craving fruit too. I've been craving it. I promise you, I've wasted money that I don't have trying to go to the grocery store and get fruit. And I know the other counter to that is, hey, why don't you try to grow some fruit? Because there's still GMO seeds, and then you still have to be in a place to where you got land, space, sunlight, windows. You just have to be structured for it. And then if you still fighting battles and then open avenues so the money can flow to you, because in Western society, we have to have avenues open so the money can flow. I don't want to say chasing the bag. Most of us just open avenues. You know what I'm saying? We open avenues. Bro, I might be the only one here from Balkans, Eastern Europe, and I love your stuff, and it resonates because your stuff is, hey, much appreciation, one outsider, much appreciation and love, man. It's more of us out here, man. They just hiding. They hiding us, or they're hiding our content and knowledge and information. You know what I'm saying? They don't want this out here. If they wanted this out here, we would have been elevated to over 100,000 subscribers already. We would have been at that point. But for me, I already understand. I don't expect everybody in the goddamn grocery store to fuck with me. I expect at least 2, 3 at the most, because I know I'm in the Western society. You know what I'm saying? So the same with this. I don't expect everybody to tap in and vibe, even if they could. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was going super duper dumb viral, I expect it to be a lot more demon witches that's tapping in, trying to figure out a way to critique the information that's coming out, when it's kind of hard when it's coming from the creator. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not anything that's like trying to belittle or beat anybody down into the ground outside of these demons. That's it. We are directed with our energy. We know where it's going. You know what I'm saying? That's the only difference. We know where it's going. It's like playing basketball and football and any other sport. You know how to direct your energy. I played football growing up. I didn't hate the people I played with. But when I had to tackle them, I wanted to knock their fucking heads off. Simple process, but I didn't hate them. I done crushed people before and gave them a hand, got right up. Hey, man, way to take that hit, man. Let's go. That's just how some of us men operate. Not expecting that from women, you know what I'm saying? I don't expect all that. I know y'all can be aggressive and have that energy, but I'm just saying, as far as the men, that's just naturally us. But as far as how you handle yourself afterwards says a lot about your character. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna, if you knock somebody's head off and then you stomp on their head afterwards, you should know you on demon time and you really wanted to hurt them really bad. And I meant beyond the sports, beyond the physical hurt. You know what I'm saying? We in 2 realms. I want to hurt him physically, but that don't mean I want to hurt him spiritually. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to hurt him spiritually, I would have tried to. Matter of fact, it's a movie, an old movie. I don't know the name of it, but a guy really wanted to win, and he ran. They gave him, it's a football movie. He ran the ball, and while he was running the ball, he pulled the gun out of his pants and was shooting people in front of him. I still don't know the name of this movie, but he wanted to harm everybody. It's not the space we in. You know what I mean? After you give them a good hit, you can still be good friends. Yeah, not with the demons though. Only with people who move righteously, people who are light beings, light bearers, you know what I'm saying? People who like to keep their vibration high. I can agree with that one. But if you do that shit to them witchy people, they looking to get you. I guarantee you that. They looking to take you out or do something to you. I do believe we got some fallen angels out here. I ain't even gonna say we fallen. I'm just say we landed down here. Somebody gotta clean this shit up. We don't fall from heaven. We ain't falling in love. Hey, we choosing these things. You know what I'm saying? So let's just be more direct with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely like the statement. I agree with it. You know what I'm saying? The falling and laying down. I'm just not a fan of falling and laying down. I'm not even a fan of being on your knees. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's something that the Islam religion practice when they're doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's more power to them. But I'm just speaking as far as analogies, laying down and falling and being on knees. You know, some chosen to stay fallen. That is true. I would just say in the sunken place. And if they choose that, it's usually because they got pressured by the demonic team and they wasn't strong enough to maintain their balance or to be doing what they're supposed to be doing in that space. Because if you look at it, even if you get around some of these demons, you could tell and you can see that little bit of light in them. You know that yin and yang? You can always see, I don't give a damn if it's this much much, you can see that in there. And it's always going to be some kind of representation that there was a good, decent spirit in there, but the bad wolf is stronger. You know what I'm saying? It was like an old saying, if there was two wolves fighting, who wins the war? You know, the good wolf or the bad wolf? And it's whichever wolf you're feeding is going to win. If you feed the bad wolf is going to pound on that good wolf. If you feed the good wolf, that bad wolf don't got a chance. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by we got to start feeding more of the good wolf. We are under attack at all avenues and angles. And the ones who aren't under attack, you got a little break. And I guarantee you, your little break got something to do with you self-sabotaging yourself a little bit, or procrastination and putting something off to the back burner to where it comes back and bites you. So then it's like, oh shit, that wasn't an attack. I knew I was supposed to do something. I didn't take care of it. Now it came back and it slapped me in the back of the head harder than it would have if I would have just taken care of it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, man, it's deep. It's deep, it's deep, it's deep. We have to be able to identify. You know a cop car when you see one. You know a fire truck when you see one. You know an ambulance when you see one. So if these are vehicles, right, in temples, and your body is a vessel in a temple, don't you want to stand out and not look like a demon? I want to teach my daughter how to operate and move around so she doesn't look like a demon. If she chooses to look like a demon, then she can. You know what I mean? But we in a day and age where makeup is overly used. There's no more excuses to be using makeup. I don't give a fuck how you like it. You got it. You need to throw that shit the fuck in the trash. Simple process. You give makeup to 3 or 4 generations down from now. But the generation we in right now, we got to start cleaning our hands. You know how much money you even spending on that shit too? And then you got to think about it. You got this eyeliner, which is coming from this factory. You got this lip liner, which is coming from another factory. You got this blush, which is coming from another factory. You got these sprays and chemicals, which is coming from all of these different factories. And you don't even know the people making them. You don't even know the people making them. Like they could be sprinkling a little bit of crack on there before you even get the product. You don't know. If you're going to shop, you can open the door, big girl. If you're going to shop and do makeup, then you have to make sure that you're making the makeup, or you know people that makes the makeup. But even in today's day and age, it's overly used. That shit got to go in the trash. That shit got to go in the trash. I promise you, I have more respect and love for beings that I see really pushing and working on themselves. Like it makes my spirit and my heart do something when I see people who are physically unfit, working their ass off to get their spiritual and physical body back together. Because I can only imagine, like, oh, you probably just got off work, or you're about to go to work, or you probably had the whole fight with yourself about eating these burgers and these chips and these hot dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole process. So when I see people out there, it kind of like gives me the goosebumps because I just be so excited for them on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I see you, that means you're in my proximity. That means you're in my environment. That means you can affect my environment. Well, I'm just talking about religion or politics start problems between people. I don't get it. Freedom of speech, so they say, people being confusing. Hey, we are given freedom of speech by the creator as soon as you're able to use your throat chakra. But as far as the tension and the friction that comes with it, we know that's demonic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can say religion and politics, but you can look at those two things and say that same thing about calling a female fat. That is fat. That goes hand in hand. She should look at herself and be like, oh shit, I am fat. These people in these religions that's being controlled, that don't really have a better understanding of what's going on in their religion and why they're processing things the way they do, they should look at shit weird and witchy over there like that, because you don't have a better understanding. You know what I mean? So I would much rather deal with honesty, no matter how it comes, opposed from somebody being demonic and witchy to me and then me trying to figure out where to place it at. You see what I'm saying? At least I know the honesty. Hit you right in your chest. Ugh, damn, that hurt. But I saw you swing and it hit me in my chest. I know where the impact is at. I know where the pain is at. But when I have to deal with the other side, And it's like somebody's fixing me dinner and then they're like, hey, how you like it? You know, it's good. And then I'm like, oh shit, what's that? And I'm trying to look back there and I take this knife out and I'm like, oh shit. And then the blood start leaking. That's different. That's completely different. That pain, you was being sneaky and demonic. That shit threw me off. I don't want the pain, but if you give it to me direct, I can manage and process it better. You know what I mean? Some countries is fat and considered beautiful and honorable. It's always a saying for those things. That's not true. You have cultures that, like back in the day, used to do that, but I've never seen a man say, oh yeah, she's so fat and I want her. That's not how it works. I wish it was, but men are visual creatures. We are visual. I feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll get to the chopper now. Like, God damn it. We are visual. Now you ain't gotta be sorry. I know African has all their different cultures. And they only point us to Africa, to be honest. So it could be countries in South America, it could be countries in Australia that do what you are saying. So the same thing you saying about some countries like fat women, it's just like there was places and times where women ruled their tribe. We can come up with that 1 or 2% analogy, but looking at the higher percentage of it, you know what I'm saying? Most lion tribes are going to be ran by the lion, not the lioness. But I'm pretty sure you can find somewhere in the safari where there's 2 lionesses and they don't have a male lion around. You know what I mean? I started wearing makeup about 5 months. Last time I had my face on YouTube. Nah, that's good shit because it takes a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's kudos and much peace and love to that because it takes a lot as a female. Man, I woke up like this on our Beyonce shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying women don't, but I understand like a higher percentage of women do believe in make up. You're making up. At least change the name of it. You know what I'm saying? If you like the art of it, change the name of it. Just change the name of it. I don't feel like we should be doing it, but it makes more sense if you change the name of it. Because when you're saying makeup, you're trying to pretend to do something else. But nobody wanted to dive as deep as far as changing the name of, oh, I ain't gonna call it makeup. I'm gonna call it Lucky Charms. You know what I'm saying? Like change the name of it to change the condensation. You know what I'm saying? That's not one of those things where it could be like bitch or bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's not one of those vibrational words. Makeup and makeup is makeup. You know what I'm saying? Makeup. As soon as you think of makeup, you're thinking of somebody making themselves up to something else. You know what I mean? Nah, I feel you too. I don't need to share, man. Much love, OJ. Much love. I don't need to share what I'm doing to everybody on a public platform. Yeah, you don't, but some people do. You know, some people do. You don't have to, but some people do. What you share on a public platform is what you're choosing to share in real life. What you share on a public platform is what you choose to share in real lifetime. You know what I mean? So that's why I didn't get my daughter a channel. She wanted to start doing videos and stuff, but I was like, I got to get some more knowledge and substance in you and get some more things organized because this is how people will see you and portray you, you know? Yeah, I don't even know what privacy is anymore. I don't even know what that shit is. When people talk about privacy, we in a day and age where that shit is done. That shit is done. That shit is done. Privacy reminds me of secrets. I don't give a fuck about privacy unless you trying to watch me have intercourse. You know what I'm saying? That's different. But at the same time, some cultures wasn't running off to hide to have intercourse. You know what I'm saying? They go by fucking behind a tree or behind their building or their place of establishment, however it was. You know what I'm saying? Big Brother is always watching. So for me, like privacy, privacy is not a thing for me. You know what I'm saying? I can try to wiggle certain things and information around and certain tools and stuff around out the way, but as far as being private, I want to be public. I want to be out there, you know, my legacy, whether it's this great or greater or lesser. I just wanted to be more impactful to the universe. You know what I'm saying? There's enough people keeping secrets and being private. So I'm going to be that unorthodox being who puts my life and my story out there. The people who's been around me, if you get involved with me, you just know that you're part of my story, and you take on a certain role. We all do. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand certain people need their privacy and want to do all that shit. You know, that's like me understanding makeup and all these things. But I'm in a day and age now to where it's like you're not gonna be able to. You on a phone, so you don't want but so much privacy. If you wanted real privacy, you wouldn't be in these phones. We wouldn't be on these computers. We wouldn't even have them with us. You know what I mean? So it just shows Big Brother was preparing us for the future. Big facts, big fact, and still lining stuff up. It's still a lot more things lined up for us that they want to do, that they are implementing, whether it's the RFID chips, you know what I'm saying, or whether it's some of this other weird stuff that they doing. Because a lot of the information now is like, okay, so you didn't go get the, so we're gonna figure out how we can put it in the food so that way you can still get the. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's cameras even in the self-checkouts at the supermarket clogging you everything you do. Big facts. They put cameras up on every light in my city where I'm at. But I run red lights on a regular basis, and I've never checked my mail and got one ticket. I mean, I run red lights, meaning it could be red. If I'm coming to it and I'm 100 yards away and it's red, if I feel like running it, I'm gonna take it. The creator always makes sure all my avenues is open, all the other traffic is nowhere near my spaces or they're stopped. This is how I test and know how far and how much I'm protected by the things that I do that most beings won't do, that I choose to take risks on. You know what I mean? You don't know until you take the risk. Yeah, the children's born with cameras looking at them and everything. Baker, Mason, Bob Marley. What that mean? What that mean, Sultan? What that mean? We talking about Bob. We already know how they hit Bob. You know, Bob was on that peace and love, and they wasn't gonna let that keep vibing. Even his music was like picking people up to a whole nother level. Like he was touching mad spirits. They like, hell nah. I'm over here trying to take over the world. What do you say? What we gonna do today, Pinky? Try to take over the world. Yeah, Bob was on it. They tried to kill Bob so many times that they finally got him. And the story that they tell us is that, you know, somebody put a needle in his boot. He put his boot on and it just stabbed him. Like, Bob Marley was not retarded. So I don't believe that story that, yeah, I'm this spiritually connected, but I'm going to put on some boots a stranger gave me without checking them. Whether I put my hand in them or whether I turn it upside down and bop it to make sure not anything is in there. You know what I mean? So it's a whole process with that. And a lot of people still listening to him. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with Bob heavy. I don't listen to his music heavy because his message is great. But the overall production, I'm a producer, so the overall production just don't do it for me. But I do like Bob. I do like his energy, his vibration he put out. He had a great message with him. But my warrior spirit, I was in the trenches, you know. I needed something a little bit harder. What to do, man? I'm tired of these witchy motherfuckers. They always try to mess up. They going to. That's their job. That's their job every day. Every day, that's their job. So you got to do your best at making sure. When I get up, I'm always thinking of, like, outside of the dollar bill, because we got to take care of this shit. I'm always thinking, all right, how many weird witchy motherfuckers do I have in my physical space? All right, not that many. All right, which ones would like to attack me? Okay, maybe just these two over here. Okay, then I also got the system in place. I also process them as well, too. I have to run through all of these things. I don't have to, but I choose to, just so I'm more prepared when I do get hit by something. You know what I'm saying? So when my SD card stopped working or didn't record my audio, I went out and filmed earlier today and my sound didn't record. I'm just thinking, damn, it could be the system spiritually working some energy against me, because I definitely made sure my battery was charging, my SD card was clear, but then I made sure my mic was plugged in, but then it still tweaked out on me. They take out the true speakers if they become a big enough threat. That's big facts. That's big facts. That's why I said people who are in these positions or choose to speak the way I choose to speak, we already know it's at risk. You know what I'm saying? And we should already know that we put anybody that's close to us at risk. So if you come into our lives, you have to understand, like, at least beings like me, I am very serious about this. I do this in real lifetime too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people who have watched my stuff that have been able to get near me in real lifetime, they realize, oh shit, this motherfucker really does process and think this way and operate this way and do things this way. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I do. Because I don't believe in being fake or artificial. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna not like me, you gonna not like me for who I am. Motherfucker, I don't give a fuck. I done moved around so much and made friends because I wanted to and didn't want to. I done had to lose connections whether I wanted to or didn't want to. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'd much rather be me and leave my imprint that way. I hate this world when God gonna send help. Hate is a strong word, man. I try to stay away from that word. I try to, and when I use it, I really mean it when I do use it. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate this world, but I feel you if you do. It is a lot of witchy shit going on out here. If you don't have someone trying to take you out spiritually, you're not looking hard enough. You ain't, big facts. And if you don't have somebody trying to take you out spiritually, you ain't working the way you thought you was working. You ain't working the way you thought you was working if nobody is trying to take you out. If everybody you meet, you just have great vibes and great energy and it's just the best and you're the best person in the world and you get along with everybody. You are some kind of warlord in the spiritual realm. Because even me, ain't no way I'm going to get along with everybody because my energy that's being projected shows, hey, if you ain't riding with the creator, we got some problems. It says that. Now, how far the problems or what level it goes to varies, but the energy that's being projected is going to show you, hey, we're going to have some problems. This nigga is unorthodox. It is an honor. Don't forget, big facts, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't want to run up too long. I have been going, you know what I'm saying? I still got some stuff to do. I got the mini out here, but I tried to get a film up earlier today and it just started tweaking out. I almost got frustrated. You can come in, big girl. Lexi. Oh, I thought she was knocking at the door. Oh, she was. What's up, big girl? Come here. Hey, step over. You been doing your hair? What's up? We got Lexi G up in the building. She must have been doing her hair while I was in here talking.
No, I look at the top.
I see you. Hey, this the next generation right here. This.
What did people say?
They saying all kind of stuff, big girl. Look at you. Hey, her hair was not even like this. It was literally in like 2 ponytails, and I can't.
No, I took it out at the pool.
She did, and now look at it. That's crazy. Looking like you seen at the lake. Oh, great blessings, Lexi. Hey, much appreciation, man. This is what we do.
Does everyone know
it's about this generation right here, man. So you gotta think about it like this. I tell her all the time, people tell you beautiful, you must be being you to the full. Be you to the full. If you ain't being you to the full, you're not beautiful. You got the looks on the outside due to mommy and daddy. You know what I'm saying? So as far as the substance and the chips and stuff, it's my job to put that in there for you. It's my job to put that sauce in there for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, messed up again.
Yeah, you all right. Yeah, thank you for the correct way to use the peace sign. Most definitely. I be having her teach her buddies this too, because everybody when they little wants something to do with their hands. So we like, we all doing this and this and this. It's like we don't even know why we're doing these things. At least if you have some legitimate reasons, you know what I'm saying?
I pull my hair apart and it makes it tighter.
You did. At least it'll make more sense. To me, this makes sense. When I found out, okay, this togetherness, unity, that makes more sense. You know what I'm saying? This, I could see how this causes separation. It kind of hurts your fingers a little bit more. That's why when people do it, they try to relax their fingers like this. But
yeah, this really hurts when you do it. The middle part.
But this right here keeps it together. Togetherness, unity. You know what I'm saying? We gotta keep everybody protected out here. But what I was saying was, she already born with what she needs. Mommy and daddy did the job in that department. Now she needs the substance. The witchy team would be easy to grab her and to have her out here twerking, wearing all these kind of weird outfits, you know what I'm saying? Like just doing the most as a young lady. You are teaching the whole hey, I appreciate you, James, man. Big bro, man. Brody been with us for a while, man. A lot of love to bro James, man. I appreciate you, man.
Why does that say XXXX?
I appreciate you. James always show a lot of love, man. But that's what I'm saying. If I wasn't present, and not trying to be funny or a dick, but if I wasn't present, she would be getting programmed to be witchy. TikTok would have her twerking and doing all these things. It would have her saying and doing things that she wasn't being aware of. But daddy already teach her all these things. She has a whole nother realm at her mom's side that she gets to, they can put all that stuff on her. But at least she knows the difference between the good music and bad music, right? It's a lot of things that we go over that she knows, so it doesn't have the same impact on her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, grateful for sharing your time as always. Thank you. As always, man. I know a lot of people not gonna put themselves out there, but I don't have a problem doing that. I done been through a lot of obstacles in my life, to be honest with y'all. So like, what's up, big girl?
I wanted to know if they know how old I am.
Nope. You want to tell them how old you are?
I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Like painted, like to see them.
I'm 7.
They said, Lexi, what sort of things do you like painting? Like to see them? 7. Yep. Yeah, she be on it. What kind of stuff you like to paint?
I like to paint like pictures of people or like flowers or like nature or something.
You do. She be big. She outside in nature. Hey, this us. I know. Look, man. I still got 3 court dates next month I gotta go to. Just because I'm a present being. You know what I'm saying? Just for being present, I have to live in the courtroom. And you see how much I smile, how much light I am. Like, that's not going to change. Like, I'm going to fight for this. And when I have more, I'm going to fight till the wheels are gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, till the wheels are gone. So she already know that ain't always going to be here. So I got to drop everything on her that I possibly can as she transitions. And I tell her each year, we got new rules. We got new things that we got to go over, new things that we got to learn. You know what I'm saying? So at this age right now, what we've been going over is she wants daddy's email, daddy's phone number, and just the basic information outside of, you know, how we keep track of the sun. How we keep track of the days. You remember?
By the sun.
Good job. How we keep track of the months?
By the moon.
Good job.
I thought about
Eminem. Yeah. I told her Eminem was a good way to remember moon and months. And then that little analogy stuck with her. And then how do we keep track of this of the year?
By the seasons.
Yeah.
I heard you say
is what we do. You know what I'm saying? You remember what the real medicine is?
Of fruits, veggies, and spices.
Hey, yo, hey, we going down all of it. And
what are you doing?
Are you? Who is that voice in the inside?
Me.
Hey,
stop tickling me! I'll tickle you back. I'll tickle you back.
This is what we do. I've been running it up, so you know, anytime I'm gone too long, she gonna come tap in. You know what I'm saying? So.
I was knocking on the door earlier.
I heard you and I said come in, but this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? We not secretive. We not gonna be private. You know, people not gonna be able to learn if they don't see it in real lifetime. You know, it's been plenty of people I watched and I tap into still to this day. I ain't never seen they little ones. I don't know how they interact or engage with their little ones. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I could be gone tomorrow. So I'm like, man, I share me with the world right now without a bit of remorse. You know what I'm saying? But we have been having a good episode, you know what I'm saying? And we are going to get her channel lit soon. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get her channel together and I haven't seen a whole bunch of people having their little ones teach the little ones. So I want to get something together where her channel would be her helping teach, you know, the other little people, just the little things. You know, it ain't got to be major, like, no trigonometry or nothing or anything like that, but it would be something of some substance. You know what I mean? We going to infinity and beyond. I said the same thing Hey, when I was in the courts fighting for her, the judge asked me why I keep
Stop.
smiling the way I smile, and I was like, I ain't never had nobody fight for me the way I fight for her. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like, you can do what you gonna do, judge. Just know that I ain't gonna stop fighting. If I'm fighting this spiritual battle, why would you think I'm gonna stop fighting you, judge? Because you're in a nightgown, a robe, a apron. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a gavel and you can make changes to my life. I done been in that seat before they made changes, and the creator still made sure I was good. The creator still made sure I was good. Good enough to the point to where I could still be right here in front of the mini, still teaching her and still helping and giving out this light, man.
I
you know
wish
what I mean?
I had a dad, so
yeah, Dad. So I appreciate the knowledge. Big facts, little Broly. I feel you. Children knowing things and premonitions, big facts. They be in tune. So I don't want her to get dumber. She's very knowledgeable and sharp, so I want to keep her that way and then fill her in with more substance and knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And then also let her know that we will depend on a man, not the system, you know what I mean? Daddy is not gonna push her over to the system. If she's gonna do college and all that stuff, if it's still a thing, which most likely it won't be, because I don't fuck about college and none of that stuff. I teach her about the language and all of that stuff too. You know what I'm saying? People hurt themselves over harder words. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of being there, being present, and then just bringing the awareness to what's actually going on, so she's not being confused. You know what I'm saying? Like, she'll hear me say what they call curse words, but then will be frustrated with people at school for like calling her name, or people picking on each other at school and over different things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she in public school due to her MOM right now. I would have had her homeschooling, if I was more situated. So I put that on me, on just not being more organized and more situated as a man. You know what I mean? So I'm a human having a spiritual experience as well, and then just trying to figure all this out at one time while being attacked and sabotaging at the same time. It's a little bit of everything, but I still keep fighting. I still keep getting the best foot forward. You know what I'm saying? What's up, big girl?
Dude,
thank you.
I need to ask them a question.
What you want to ask them?
Well, it's not really a question. It's just I need to tell them something.
Go ahead and tell them.
I go to what is it called? Summer
camp.
Yeah, I go to summer. Yeah, I'm about to start next week or this week.
Yep. Let's do the mommy signing her up for this stuff. I'm okay.
No, you told me to sign up so you could see me.
No, she signed you up by choice, and I didn't have a choice in it. Her mom supposed to be doing stuff, and we 50-50 everything besides the timing. But her mom still do shit without telling me, and then she gets away with it because the system supports her. And now I'm supposed to just take it on the chin, daddy. You know, it's okay, but let you do it. We're gonna flip the script on you. You know what I'm saying? Learning languages wise, we go over that on a regular basis. Okay. What words don't we use? We don't use that word bored, do we?
We don't use bored or can't.
Yeah, we don't use bored or can't. We say cannot. It's a lot of things that she correct me on if I say it, because I already taught her and told her. Like,
can't is cannot.
Yeah, so when you can't do something, it's just because you just really don't want to, or you cannot do it because of something else hindering you. But that can't spell, people throw that and use it too much. So I didn't want her being in that space. Like, I can't do it. You can. It's just a little hard right now, or you need a little bit of assistance.
Okay, you guys stay right there. I'm gonna
what languages do you speak? I only speak English and I speak Spanglish. Hola, ¿cómo está? Muy bien. ¿Y tú? ¿Qué pasó? Okay. I see, amiga. Just Spanglish, just from working and being in the field with Spanish people, you know what I'm saying? I met some pretty cool Spanish speaking people in my time, you know what I'm saying? And they kind of taught me a little bit of what I could. And I did 2 years of Spanish when I was in high school, which teaches you the basics, you know what I'm saying? My son told me I was being dumb. I raised you, whelp kid. What you mean? What you mean by that? My son told me I was being dumb. I raised you, whelp help kid. What you mean by he said you was being dumb? Like, did you do something in particular for him to say that? And yeah, we do raise him, but that don't mean that we not being dumb in the process for some stuff. You know what I mean? Like, she'll call me out. I couldn't call my mama. If I did, I was going to get an ass whooping behind it. I guarantee you. I was getting whoopings left and right when I was younger. Shit, I remember my dad used to whoop and I barely saw my dad. I went to state summers with my dad. I would get my ass whooped so bad, I would have whelps on my arms from trying to block. My thighs, right around this area, and my butt would have big belt, bigger than this belt right here. It would have lashes on my butt and my back and all of that stuff. Literally like Kuta Kitten. I done had to stand up in wall mirrors, you know, the wall mirrors that go on the back of the door, ass naked in front of my dad while he beat me, and I had to keep my hands to my side and not cry. Like, those methods, I'm a man, so it just I kind of went with it. I took it how it came, but I don't implement that stuff on her. And even if I had a boy, I still wouldn't implement that stuff on her. I know a lot of shit that was done to me was too infinity and too far beyond. You know what I mean? He said our son called me crazy, but I remember him. I remember him about a time when he told me something like premonitions. So children are woke. They are. They are. We already enlightened. We just have to be. We have to grow into that space. You know what I'm saying? We move over and move up higher. That's why the system dumbs us down. It's not like the system putting a bunch of good information out there and then we're choosing to get dumber. No, they're putting a lot of dumbass information out there and forcing us to not use common sense and our intuition and that knowledge anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah, we got a lot of narc parents out here. We got a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? My dad, my sperm donor said child support was the best thing that's happened because then he ain't got to deal with the child or the mama. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's like, hey, we been 50-50. I don't give a damn about paying no goddamn child support. You know what I'm saying? You can try to take whatever paper you want to take, but at the end of the day, it's not going to stop me from fighting. And then you only can do that until these ones get to a certain age, then they can choose who they want to be with. You know what I mean? So if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, then I know when my daughter gets about 10, 11, 12, she automatically going to want to come live with daddy because the other side is too witchy. You know what I'm saying? They all about controlling and putting fear in her. So I'm always like trying to knock down the fear tactics and everything else that's in between there. I play rough with her and she is still feminine to the T. Like, it is crazy. Yeah, born into darkness, I was then pulled into the light. It irritates him. Yep, they began programming us ASAP, right away. Love breaks chains of fear. It does. And I agree with all them points. That y'all on one today. That's when your relationships with TMH begin. Facts. Hey, man. Y'all already hip, you know what I'm saying? Right now, all we doing is building a community and we keeping our tools and everything else sharp, you know what I'm saying? And we all validate each other. We all give each other confirmation. The same way y'all come here to get validation and confirmation and just some insight, the same way I tap into y'all comments and engagements and it helps me the same way. So just because you're not in front of the camera doesn't mean that you aren't being effective to the ones who are in front of the camera. You know what I mean? So... But I ain't want to run up too long. We still got some stuff we got to do. She done popped in the camera, combing her hair and stuff while we over here trying to get it together. Hit me in the eye. You know what I'm saying? But I play rough with her too, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to throw her on the bed. We on skin. We do all of the 9 yards. Don't start beating me up right now, though. Let me finish. Never let go of God's hand. Big facts. I always tell her, even when I'm not with her, I'm with her in the spiritual realm. And I tell her that God and the creator is more powerful than daddy. Because I know they look at their parents like we're the gods. So I'm like, hey, you can look at me like that, but look to the creator because he's stronger. So when you over there dealing with them witches over there in the other house, you know what I'm saying? And they putting you in that weird space. You got grandma, grandpa, and mommy ganging up on you, you know what I'm saying? Just know that the creator and daddy got you protected. We always with you know what I'm saying? So
okay,
it's always there. But I ain't want to run it up too long, you know what I'm saying? We definitely going to be live streaming more. My phone is lost, the computer. It's been a lot of stuff. Like
this is my phone.
I'm one of them beings who I would just rather put the work in now opposed from trying to get everything perfect and then put the work in. So y'all just got to go through these trials and tribulations with me while we get everything set and organized, you know what I mean? But I ain't want to run it up too long, you know what I'm saying? And we've been on for about almost 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? And what we do is we just hear the vibe, you know what I'm saying? We just hear the vibe and spread love and awareness, you know what I'm saying, to some of these tactics they using, and then to just sharpen our own.
Teddy.
You know what I mean? But tap into everything down below, you know what I'm saying? I'll make sure I'll keep all my information and stuff down there.
I'm on her.
Like, comment, and subscribe. We 2 hours in, and now I'm gonna say it, because if anybody made it this long, 2 hours in, you know what I'm saying? That's the bare minimum. That is the bare minimum. Because I don't mention it nowhere else in between, nowhere else. And you already know they're going to keep hiding us. But we still going to keep pushing through. That don't even matter. It's what we do. You know what I'm saying? We warriors. For the ones that's not fighting, we fighting for you. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all. Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.